found. Receiving your content. Okay.
Live?
Yes, we're live.
We're live, boys.
Wait, no, we're not live. Okay, now we're live. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone who's here.
Okay, now wait, you control this thingy.
Alright.
I'll go and get some water.
Thank you.
Water. What are you doing?
Alright, boys. So, welcome to the stream today. We're just going to be doing... since we haven't been doing a little bit of Vainglory content in a bit, we decided to, me and Spaghetti, we're going to do a little analysis on the VPL worlds. Of course, we're not going to do every single match on the stream, will be too long. We're just going to be doing an hour or so. Can ask us literally anything regarding worlds and we'll answer it. Yeah, on top of that, everything should be pretty self-explanatory. We're just going to be watching a little bit of the worlds matches, skipping through quite a bit of it, and just watching at some key moments in which factored into the Team Ace actually taking home the win here for VPL Worlds. So this is part of the predictions. I think we can skip over this a little, just a bit.
Just checking if it's working.
Alright.
Okay, it's working.
So now this is the price allocation. So basically, first place Ace took home $15,000 in USD. Second place $7,500. Welcome to the stream. Hello guys. Third placing takes home $5,000. Fourth placing $2,500. Alright. So we hit into the first draft between Tribe and Ace. So this is basically the match that basically set the momentum for majority of the teams here, because right now there wasn't any international competitions basically between NA and the Asia region in forever. Basically the last time was in 3v3, so this is the first time the 5v5 was actually played internationally. There was like the WESG show match that happened in March, but that was only among Asia countries and stuff. So yeah, so this is the first time, so I suppose both teams are playing a bit more safe and also like experimenting to see what the enemy teams are comfortable on. So we do see Anka and Chen Walker being banned out. Anka is one of Ace Gaming's top picks here in the top lane actually. They actually played a lot in the top lane, don't ask me why, but it works for them, so it's good. Yates being banned out, Lyra being banned out on B team. Yates pretty high pick potential, Lyra is probably pretty strong on the new 3.9 as well, but after a few nerfs here and there. You see the Kinetic being first picked. Kinetic is actually one of the more contested bot laners here, isn't it, Spag?
Yes, Kinetic is one of the best bot laners for this meta, or 3.9 meta.
Because it just has so much DPS and burst potential, as well as a CC and an escape mechanism, all in one. Yeah, and we do see Lorelei being picked up here by Shanna. Probably the Lorelei is going to be going, if I'm right, in this game here, Tasa actually picked up the Lorelei here, followed by a Scarf. The priority is more on Scarf and Lorelei. Basically, Lorelei is one of the protectors. So if you didn't know already, in 3.9, the main composition to really play and draft for that is the best, of course, is a protector carry, circling around your mid laner, which is either Scarf or Celeste, and a bot laner, which is either Kinetic or Silvernail. Now that's like the main composition type. So this is why we're gonna see both teams here strive to hit towards, especially on the side of Ace Gaming, since we have scrimmed them a few times, or I should say throughout the whole entire year actually. So you guys have Ace already in tournament. You guys have defeated Ace already in tournament, not in tournament. Yep. So here we have. They're soft picking the Rona. I don't think they're gonna lock that in. NA side loves use NA and EU, I think, loves using Adagio as support because of the early pressure, but in Southeast Asia and East Asia region, we don't really prioritize Adagio because of the lack of CC and mobility there. So we do see Arden being picked up on the side of Ace Gaming. This is very 3.9 driven, I guess, the patch, because things like Finn, like they're not really prioritized at all for the captain role, which is uncommon because in 3.8 Finn was really strong, but because of the nerfs to his B and A abilities, sort of out of the meta, a little out of the meta, even though it's probably one of the strongest supports still. Reza being picked up, a very sweet box pick, I should say. He plays it very well in the top lane. He goes like Spell Sword Aftershock, bit of that, and we have the Grunjaw being picked up. We're gonna fast forward a little. Grunjaw being picked up. This pick is for Max Green here in the top lane, and we have jungle Maline for Ticks, and we have Silvanil locked in for creation here, and we're just gonna start hit into the match here. So yeah, these are basically the changes. Actually, VPL actually highlighted that. So jungle monsters, ambient goal reduced, defense increase, which means that it's no longer too wise for the sharing of the traveling of like laners to the jungle to share unless they have really free time. So now it's more lane focused. Ambient goal in lane is also increased. Vein Crystal. Basically, what it made it is that downing armories will only affect like wave control, minion control, as well as the amount of base defense that can fire at you when you're in the base and trying to end the game. So that's that. Alright, let's go. So we're gonna hit into the very first match. I'm just gonna go over one match here from Ace and Tribe. So get into the match here. We do see both teams playing generally the same thing basically. While Tribe is trying to pressure out the bot lane here because the map is mirrored, Ace is actually prioritizing focus on the top side as well. So Creation and Tasa have both cleared over their red jungle already and are currently trying to siege up the top lane from the spectator view here, which is their bot lane. But yep. So you do see Reza here. Basically, they pick Reza in the top lane because it's very mobile and it can clear lanes pretty nicely. And of course, it can turn around things really quickly, as well as if your mid laner comes to gank, Reza can follow up pretty well. But of course, Reza is not going to be too useful in mid to late game team fights because of that. Because Reza is generally not as impactful as a Flicker or Arden in the top lane. He doesn't have a CC. Yeah. Do you have anything to add, Spec?
I'm sharing the stream.
Awesome. Yeah, Silvanil Kinetic is the best bot. Yeah. Right now I think both are pretty even. Wait, let me go back here. Slightly.
Okay,
I missed that. Alright. Yeah, so here if I'm right, old school backed, or he went back to the jungle. Yep, he backed here. Tix was still staying for the turret, that's why he overstayed slightly. So as you guys can tell, Maline was trying to recall. Reza knowing that Kinetic is already recalled and Tix is still here, he actually went in on Tix and took him down. Yep, really nice play. He survived barely here with yeah, basically 20 HP. Yeah, that's really lucky. But yep, it was sort of a calculated play, the way he let Kinetic recall first, so that was a good play by him. They're pressuring Gromjaw out. That's why Gromjaw in the top lane isn't as effective, and they got Lorelei jungle for the sieging potential, because right now if you can bring turrets down, you can actually bring turrets down very early as compared to the previous patch where the top laners can just hurl a few of their abilities and their high base damage and the minions will be cleared. But yeah, 3-minute turret, doesn't matter, barrier or not, both of them recall, synchronized recall, probably gonna apply pressure elsewhere on the map. So we do see Arden. So the matchup between Arden and Scarf and Celeste and Adagio, which one do you think is more advantageous just in the mid lane itself?
Less for the early game, but Scarf and Arden a bit later.
Game. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I mean because they had Adagio also.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do agree with you that Celeste and Adagio probably will have the lane priority here, but they're not. The thing about any side that they play a little differently from Southeast Asia is that us in the mid lane, they prioritize a lot of fighting and dueling in the mid lane, whereas for Southeast Asia side, after we are done with mid, we tend to rotate either to the top or bot side to help either siege the turret or defend against the siege. As you can tell, Sweetbox is undergoing a lot of pressure from this double range composition, and perhaps the side of Shanna and Ducklon could help to relieve that pressure. But then again, they're probably
also being pressured in the mid lane.
Yeah, they and also they backed as well. So yeah, we do see Max Green going down here. I'm not sure if that was lag, but yeah, the pressure coming from these two carries is too insane, really. Yeah, he's lagging. Max is lagging. You can tell from the face camera over the side. Yep. He was standing still, so hello to you too.
They got their second tier 2 the tower down in 4
minutes.
That's pretty.
30 seconds.
really
the pause
fast.
coming out because Max was lagging and we need to solve that problem. So let's just go through this.
Free kill for Ace there though.
Yeah, I mean, Gromjo is heavily counted by both Silvernail and Lorelei, so the turret would have went down probably either way.
Yes.
But so is Reza, heavily counted by Tribe's bot lane duo here. But right now, as you predicted, Arden and Scarf is slowly getting the pressure on to mid lane, as well as Sweetbox rotating to help out here. Nothing much is gonna go down here.
You see a lane swap to the bot lane from Lorelei and Silvernail. We can't really go there because they're watching the replay and
they picked up Kinetic as well because they were in the red jungle trying to pressure or something. The jungle meta is very different in a lot of regions as for 3.9 because Worlds was played 1 day or 2 days after the update, whereas WESG Southeast Asia was played the day of the update as well. So there are a lot of metas forming during the competition itself. So for the side of Ace, they tend to take a more sieging. They like to play map. Like you see the comps that Ace drafts, and the way they won actually is because they like to play map and they play it really well. Like from our scrims, they play macro pretty well. I think the only team that was better in macro than Ace throughout this whole entire year was truly from the East Asia region. There was only one, and they already left the game. It was Rock Samada. Their macro play is pretty insane as well. But yeah, Ace has one of the best macro as well. In one of the games they versus Rocks, I remember in the EA VPL, they actually backdoored Rocks for the win as well.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. You see a fight breaking out in the mid lane as well. Shanna and Dark Lana was going down. Crucible, no, there was no Crucible, it was just a reflex block by Dark, and Shanna just ran out with the boots. Another fight's gonna come out here. Gabe's just hiding in the bush, getting a little bit of damage onto Shanna here. It's a 4v3, so it's definitely not very advised for.
Nice ulti from Silvernail
and Celeste actually got a kill on Scarf. Remember this part? It was pretty nice ulti. Yeah, but as I mentioned, right now, like, it's the first time NA and EA is really facing off in a full year, and they're playing different game modes. The last time was 3v3, now it's 5v5. So you see both teams slightly not making too aggressive calls or plays, and they're still a little indecisive. But it will shape up. The meta and the calls will shape up as the tournament goes. You see teams start to make more aggressive and calculated calls. So, hello Amos, hello Spaghetti. Varia out of meta now. Varia is not gonna be as strong as Celeste and Scarf because of the nerfs to her single target damage. That was the only thing that she had above Scarf and Celeste, because Scarf and Celeste definitely had more AoE potential. It's just the hyper carry potential and the mobility on Varia that's disadvantage. And right now, lane pressure is very important as well. I see Malin actually getting out of the gauntlet pretty nicely there. Oh, this part was pretty nice. Creation actually knocked in Max Greening because he already used this A ability. I'm not sure if he was lagging here. Could he have went over the wall? Because honestly, he could have just ran downwards, but he was staying a little too long here, and because of that, he had to use his A ability to get out of the Lorelei A. I'm not sure if he's lagging, but it kind of looks like it. But yeah,
but he's gonna die anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like this portion, like, I feel like he's lagging. That's why he walked back in. But yep, he ended up going down here, and it's just one kill over and not really a goal swing objective take. As you can tell, the top lane is basically being left for nothing. Both teams could actually go up there and start farming. You see Reza actually start moving up there for the goal as well. Yeah, you look at the minions, man. There are a lot of goal potential in the lanes right now, and because of how tanky the minions are, so the natural pushing waves are just stacked up on each other, and they can actually take turrets down very easily. You see Lorelei actually rotating down for the goal as well.
Tanky minions.
Yeah, minions are hella tanky though. I mean, Lorelei is a very good wave clear. I think that's why they pick it up in the jungle as well. As for the builds wise, Tasa went for alternating current. I honestly don't think alternating is the right way to go for Lorelei in this update because of the nerfs to alternating current, and also, of course, the nerf to the base power on how much the water of Lorelei, like his pulls give him. They nerfed his pool a lot, I think by 60 crystal power by the end of level 12, and early game nerfed really badly. So we do see Ace actually trying to go for a Ghost Wing take here. Gabe actually going in for the ultimate standout Silvernail. I remember this part as well. But nothing is gonna be happening. Nothing is gonna be happening as Ace just picks up a free Ghost Wing there. That was basically macro play right there. They managed to rotate faster than Tribe, and because of that they were able to get a free objective. So Creation and Tasa, they're doing their very common strat where they're just pushing and going 4-1 most of the time, or 3-2. Plays are lagging as well. Issues. Network connections are always a thing in offline competition, so it's pretty normal. It's not really bad on anyone's part, really. You really need a lot of experience of hosting tournaments to have very good Wi-Fi advantage.
Creation's build though, is that viable? 2 Blazing Salvo?
Yeah, I'm actually not sure why he built 2 Blazing Salvo as well. I think it's because maybe he just likes the attack speed, honestly, and also it resets his perk more often, because attack speed actually, I think that's why he bought 2 double attack speed here. And since he is already building, he doesn't want to infuse up, because typically to get to the golden, there's basically this golden rule in the game where every bot lane AD carry, when they get to level 8, they'll hit a certain spike in their attack speed, and at level 8 if you have a Blazing Salvo as well as a Swift Shoulder, you'll get your golden attack speed range where you can start step really effectively and well. So by getting 2 salvos, it's not really needed to get 2 salvos. 1 salvo and 1 Swift Shooter is enough, or 1 salvo and 1 infusion, but I think Creation just goes that because it resets his perk a lot easier. We do see Tasa also getting a weapon infusion here. No, I'm not sure why, because honestly I don't think the auto attacks really mean much right now because of the nerfs to both the pool as well as alternating current. But then these players probably have their reasons, and who are we to judge? Hi guys, welcome to the stream. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream so far. We are just going through game 1 between Tribe and Ace right now, so yep, both teams just farming up. I'm just gonna fast forward to when the next action actually breaks out so we can analyze the fight a little bit. They're just trying to get control over the red jungle. Sweetbox just doing his old disruptive things. And look here, yeah. So this is a move that Ace love to do, in which they would send one person, often with really good escape capabilities, into a team with basically no hard CC. So all of these guys like Maline's Root, Celeste, Core Collapse, Old School's stun on his A ability, Max Green's Eat, as well as Gib Vizzel's ultimate. All these are stuns which have to be aimed, or roots which have to be aimed, or Grumjaw. As but the problem with Grumjaw is that the Eat, you have to aim that too. So by sending someone with a good dash in here, you can actually basically give them the false impression that your team is just you're basically applying pressure to 4 or 5 members of a tribe with only 1 member of Ace, in which they did not dare to basically check because they didn't have vision control here. So what ended up happening is that Ace was actually sneaking Ghostwing with very good objective taking machines. Like both Lorelei as well as Scarf are very good at taking objectives. You see Sweetbox, he's just staying here to pressure them, and they ended up getting a Black Claw. And by the time Tribe realized, the Black Claw is actually already unleashed because of the vision control Ace have. And Ace love to have vision all the way into the jungle before they do Black Claw, so there is no way of spotting them out at all. Yep, so with this Black Claw they actually did 4-1 split push, in which they already they have a lot of range here with 3 range carries and 1 Arden, which typically they all have their range of about 8 right now, so they just get free pushes. They keep a Tribe all the way at their bottom side while the Black Claw is split pushing in the mid lane here. As you see, they're just slowly kiting around to the mid side and try to get 1 more turret here if I'm right. Yeah, because or they're gonna retreat for Ghostwing, because how Ace likes to do it is they like to push it slow, even though they often like to engage right after the turret drop, but in this case where the turret is still very healthy, they will actually back off to clear out the lanes, jungles, as well as Ghostwing. In this case, they backed off a little too late for Ghostwing, that's why they had to go take the buffs, because buffs are pretty important as well for heroes like Celeste. Very heavy crystal damage here.
The bot lane is pushing as well.
Yep, that's why they're gonna take Ghostwing as well, because their lanes are kind of pushed up as well. So at this point of time, Tribe can really do nothing, because right now, by walking out of their base at this current point of time, Black Claw is down. Ghostwing is basically Ace has vision over Ghostwing, so the next best thing for Tribe to do is really try to contest Ghostwing, because if not they will just give a free objective. They'll just basically unable to come back from having their lanes pushed in the bot lane. So right now they're getting control over here in this area. I honestly think that since they already have good vision around here, they should really not force anything. But you see the damage of Scarf, man. Like one fireball. Now after the Spellfire and the burn procs off Malene, right? Malene will probably be about half HP from simply one fireball. So that's the power of Scarf in this update, because even though Adagio can heal, it needs 2 or 3 heals to even heal Tiggs back up. But Scarf can just throw one fireball in the way of Tribe and deter them like earlier. They have a very heavy pick, like poke composition here on the Ace's side, where they have basically 3 heroes that can poke really well.
Oh
and
no, Dark Long.
The reason why Arden can position like this is because he's Arden, and Arden has 2 escape capabilities with range 8 or 9, so it's very hard to catch Arden, because if you can CC him, even though you CC him, all you have to do is pop a block and Vanguard over the wall or Gauntlet over the wall, and the fight will be engaged from there. So we do see Tribe trying to apply some pressure here, but the main problem with Tribe's composition is they lack an engage. Basically, all these heroes are very defensive and pokey heroes, but none of them can really engage, and because of that, Ace can just keep poking and get away with it. Whereas on Ace's side, they can easily force with either the Lorelei stun. As you can see, their target focus is really nice. Arden's Gauntlet got cancelled out by if I'm right, it was Old School's stun. If not, it was if it's not, then it was Core Collapse. Yep, it was Old School's stun. It was a very nice stun by Old School, actually cancelling the Gauntlet. Yep, so Tiggs actually going down. Very nice target focus by Sweetbox here, and yep, they basically wiped the floor here and got, I think, a very clean finish off this game. Yep, except for Creation, but they ended up ending the game off with this push. So that's sort of game 1 where Ace took over Tribe. So basically, the main part we can see from this is really Ace won in both draft as well as map pressure, in the sense that they played the map out so much better than Tribe. Tribe didn't get the turret down all the way to about 6 to 7 minutes, whereas Ace first took Tribe's first turret in the first 3 minutes, and then the second one at 4 minutes 30 seconds. I mean, Max Green lagging out there was a huge factor in that happening, but I think the heroes as well, because Lorelei has way better sieging than Malene. So Varia already out of mana, surprised by Clash at Worlds. Honestly, I'm honestly not surprised, because I'm never really about the EU or NA being better than EU or whatever. I truly think that any team in the world, no matter where they come from, can actually be a good team, as long as they have the right preparation and mentality. So we're gonna head over to game 2 here, to the draft. We do see Ace still banning out Lyra as well as Finn. They actually changed out the ban here, because their A side, they don't have to ban Yates anymore, and their Tribe's forced to ban out Yates and give over Kinetic. So Kinetic is a very huge priority. Lorelei being banned out because of the sieging potential of Lorelei, and they're gonna pick up Adagio again with Celeste, because these are very strong early game lane heroes in the mid lane. And Anka being picked out. This is for Tasa. Because I think because of the newer update, Anka is actually not as viable in the top lane because of the tankiness of the minions. Because Anka was used in the previous patch to basically, with one B ability from behind the turret, you can actually clear out the minions a lot of the health, so you can stop the turret from going down. But this update, minions are so much tankier, you can't just do the exact same Dance of Blade combo and expect anything to come out of that. So we do see a very heavy dive composition coming out. Prioritization of Flicker and Reza, basically very heavy dive heroes. Adagio is sort of divey as well because of their playstyle. And Chen Walker being picked up this for Ducklon. Ducklon is extremely good on Chen Walker. His positioning and the way he plays out Chen Walker is actually really nice. Creation is a really good kinetic, so I wouldn't be surprised there. Shanna and Sweetbox is going to switch around later, where Sweetbox is going to be playing Arden and Shanna is going to be playing Samuel. Shanna's main hero was Samuel for quite a period of time, so his Samuel is actually really good at applying pressure as well. So we're going to start off in the game here, where we see Chen Walker and Samuel versus Celeste and Adagio. Honestly, in this combo, I do think Adagio and Celeste still have a little bit more priority, because they have more lane clear as well as a bit more poke, because they're double range after all. Even though Ducklon can throw hooks, if Gabe actually heals the minions and actually do a little bit of damage, they can actually take the Chen Walker out really easily.
Yes. Samuel's a bit weaker than Celeste
in terms of wave clears.
And Adagio early game.
Yeah.
They have Candy though.
Yes, minion candy. Minion candies were really OP before the hotfix here.
Hey, look at his items. Just contract and fall candies.
Yeah, 4 candies. Yeah, that's like the meta, man. Everyone uses candies now, but I honestly wouldn't recommend buying candies so much. We do see ticks actually picking up, helping Max Green pick up the very first kill on creation. Anka couldn't chase this because of the high cooldowns of Anka, so he doesn't want to risk dying here, which is of course the smarter choice. Even though Max Green might have burn flask, but it's too risky to pull off something like that, especially with your B on cooldown. See the hook back, very nice hook back on Chuck here, taking him pretty low, forcing even the flask on him. As for Arden versus Souvenir, Arden has more priority in the bot lane, in a 1v1 situation of course, until a certain point of the game where Souvenir gets a little bit more damage, but there's gonna be quite some time. And Arden can hard engage on Souvenir at level 6 and do a lot of damage there. Basically nothing much going on here except a kill here actually. Arden overextending because of how much he was trading old school, and Tix had a really nice rotation. In this game he really forced 2 kills in the first 2 minutes. This was a very good start, but I think the problem was that Tribe didn't capitalize on this to actually push up on the map at all, because first of all they had a Flicker, and Flicker isn't good at sieging, but definitely they after getting a kill on Arden there, they could probably put more pressure on the turret instead of backing. I think they backed off. No, they actually got a turret, but I'm not sure why or how they started losing in this game, because this looks pretty good, and Sweetbox went in for another death because Old School was actually beating out the Flask. Tasa actually diving really well. Anka is a very good diver in that case. Yeah, Sweetbox goes down, turret goes down. But in the bot lane, Max Green went down to both the combo of Anka as well as Kinetic as well. So the thing about Anka is that it can not pressure lanes really hard, but what it can do is it can dive turrets really well when you are below about 1/3 of your HP. Like if you're below 1/3, you can just throw A on the turret, you're forced to back. If not, you just go through, throw a Dance of Blades, and just auto you with the execute, and you will die. So as you can tell, 1 to 3, but both teams got a turret around the same time, and it's more valuable for Anka and Kinetic to be free than Souvenir because of the ganking potential of, or I should say the late game potential of Anka. So both teams just pushing out. Darklon, Shana just clearing out the blue jungle here. Tix is trying to gank out Sweetbox here, but Darklon actually rotated pretty timely. But nothing much is gonna happen here. Darklon actually gonna pop his flask early. Now this is a common mistake that a lot of players make, is that they like to save the flask to the last second, but what Koreans do is they actually use their flask pretty smartly, in the sense that they use it early so that the flask cooldown will be up by the time the next fight is. If he didn't use flask, Darklon will probably be at 1 bar right now, or even below 1 bar, and this turret will probably be pressured very heavily. So he can use flask at 1 bar, but the barrier won't be used at all because he's under turret and there's no point of him popping the flask. So whatever he did was actually really nice, that I think a lot of players can learn from as well. But then again, this is double melee composition versus 1 melee and 1 range. Really, Souvenir can't do much as well because they can just hard engage on Souvenir with double melee. As you can tell, Tix actually almost getting caught out, forced to pop his War Threads. War Threads first item on jungle Flicker. Basically just counting on his laners to clear out the jungle. He's not gonna do much along the side of the jungle. Ace also went for Lyra ban, any reason? Ace honestly went for Lyra ban, I think for a few reasons, in which they probably scrimmed with a little bit of Lyras in their own region and found out that Lyra is actually a very good counter to heroes that they play. Actually their heroes actually counter Lyra quite a bit. It's just, I think it's more of maybe the sustain or the anti-dive of Lyra that is really annoying, especially at a world level. And of course, maybe they were analyzing Tribe. I mean, Ace always has the reasons for their bans, because sometimes they will ban things that teams cannot comprehend, but it ends up working because that's what Sully really does. Sully really analyzes and does a lot of preparation before a match. So that's why Ace is always almost one step ahead on draft most of the time. They actually get up for a 3-man here in the bot lane, whereas Shana is just holding on mid lane on his own. Top lane, Flicker and Souvenir actually managed to pick up a turret here as well. I think they're gonna pick a turret up. If not, you gotta kill an Arden. Arden's still full health, so yeah, they're just targeting a turret. Shana's forced to play a bit safer against Celeste that is almost... no, he's not level 8 yet, so that is going to be a problem. But Ghostwing is bot side, so it's in favor of Ace Gaming because Their bot lane though is on the bot side, so they don't have to rotate as much or across the map like Tribe has to do for Ghostwing. But you see a very nice rotate by Tribe here. But the thing is, this is the problem. Alright, so you look at like how Tribe uses Flicker ultimate here. Like simply by going through Invis, like they entered Invis in mid lane where they already had vision, like Ace already had vision, so they were not gonna get any kills there. And rotating 5 here while Ace is all farming up in their jungles in top lane as well as in the bot jungle in mid lane and top lane while they were all trying to pick up a gang with Flicker out. In this kind of cases where Arden is cleared in the top lane and they are forced to back off in the bot lane to their jungle and mid lane is forced, when you already have mid lane priority, they should have forced Ghostwing in this situation because Arden couldn't have rotated. Whereas now it's sort of too late because they have top lane priority where Arden already cleared the top lane and Arden's already here and can engage anytime. But then they didn't engage here for some odd reason because I guess a few of them probably earned ready here because I think Shanna is not ready to fight here because probably his item spike, he hasn't gotten his Spellfire yet, so he's not confident. Yeah, as well. Creation hasn't gotten his Sorrow Spell Sword as well. Yeah, so Anka was the only one with the tier, like his item spike, and yeah, I think that's why they didn't engage because that was a really easy gauntlet for Arden to engage and easily they can pick up 1 or 2 kills, but they would have traded probably 1 or 2 back as well. As for right now, the goal lead is still in Tribe's favor, but that is all because of the early kills and bounties are a lot more worth it, especially in the early game. Each kill is 300 gold. You can easily get like 1000 gold in your pockets, man. And the difference about Ace is that they use objectives to force fights, whereas Tribe just try to force fights out of nothing, and they end up not really getting much out of it. In the sense that right now, Shanna has been caught out in positioning. They should go for him right here, but the whole team rotated to help as well. I think their call on Shanna was a little too slow because really Sentinel has no escape against a Flicker and a Silvernail out here. So they could have easily engaged. Reza easily could have busted Shanna down there without Sweetbox having the time to rotate. And it's not even a support Arden with the Fountain of Renewal. It's a Churn Walker with Renewal. And Churn Walker has basically nothing on the enemies if they just dive and kill someone instantly. Churn Walker needs a more prolonged fight and he has to hook in the start of the fight. Hello Spaghetti says D Gaming.
Hello.
What do you think about Eve first item for mid lane mages? What do you think? Eve first item on mid lane mages.
I don't really like going Eve first item.
I think honestly
I like going Spellfire first and then Eve if I have to.
I think it's really a waste of your power spike because getting a Shatter Spellfire or Frostburn would have even better spike than getting an Eve of Harvest. When Celeste hits level 8, you basically hit a power spike, and wasting your power spike on an Eve of Harvest basically grants you not much damage. You get a lot of sustain. That's very true.
You live, but you won't have damage.
Yeah, you'll live, but you don't have the damage that potentially to one-shot someone as when you get a Shatter Glass. Eve is more of a mid to late game item, I think. Even though early game the sustain is nice, and he probably bought it also because of the mana consumption.
Yeah.
Another Flicker out burnt, but you see they can't really
didn't use anything.
They used the Flicker out a bit too early because they didn't have to out here in this case where all they had to do was just secure Ghostwing without the ultimate and then out after that to try to pick something off. As you can see, Ace was pretty smart because they see that Tribe was focusing a lot of pressure on the bottom side. Trading a turret for Ghostwing is actually pretty worth it because like having the problem with Ghostwing is that with Ghostwing you can only push out lanes in the early game, right? So with all lanes pushed, which lane are you gonna try to push? Mid lane? But if they try to push mid lane will have the barrier as well as Ace is gonna gather around mid lane just to stop the mid lane push. Instead they got one top turret as well. So the Ghostwing will probably be worth basically nothing other than a little bit of gold. But that doesn't really matter in highest level tier.
They already used their Flicker ult, so they can't really catch anyone off.
Yeah.
Rip.
And you see them just farming out the jungle for now. As for right now, Tribe still has a little bit of gold lead, but that's not much. Max is clearing out top lane. I think he should push out the next top wave as well. Is he doing that? No. If you push out the next top lane, what he'll do is actually create a push towards the enemy turret, which Sweetbox has to rotate. And having okay, so here's one problem in which you get a Reza, and you don't use the Reza for split pushing, it's gonna be tough because
Yeah.
they have an Arden with a Crucible, and that is not really smart for a Reza to join the fight. If the enemy has an Arden, it's much wiser to force the Arden to be at his lane and you contesting it as a Reza rather than having a Gauntlet in the fight, because the Gauntlet is actually quite devastating. It burns reflex blocks, it makes carries unable to position in team fights as well. So that's one small mistake I think Trap could have capitalized on. Plus on Ace's side, I think really they're playing as well as they can in the early game because of how their heroes are in the early game. We see Chuck getting pulled back here. Nice out by Gabe, forcing the turret here. And a very nice nice stars coming out, but then again, if Celeste had Spellfire and Clockwork or something like that, he could have done a lot more damage. Dark Lord trying to force something here, forced out a Crucible on the side of Gabe Vizzle. Nothing is gonna pretty much break out. Max needs to push and not join the fight, as I mentioned, because Arden does still have his Gauntlet. I know right now they're ahead and joining the fight might be better because they're trying to force a fight over Ghostwing, but the bot tower is still up, so that could be a point of pain they could deal into Ace's side, but they're just not rotating there right now. I mean, if they 5-man right now with the lead that they have, they probably could get the bot turret very easily. I think now I finally see what the problem with Tribe is, like the team Tribe's problem really is. I think they're just not objective based enough, from what I can see. Because right now they're not pressuring lanes, they're not pressuring the two dragons, they're not pressuring jungles as hard as well. All they're doing is farming up for the late game fights.
I mean, they're trying to pick people off, but they're not setting it up well either. So
yeah, and they're not really picking. Every flicker out was used to basically walk down and up, like the river, in which I think, like, if they were to pick a comp like this, they need to pressure lanes and actually dive turrets to force something like that. Or just use Ghost Swing to bait, and then Flicker just goes in and they just hard engage on Flicker's B ability. But that's what they're not doing. Black Claw actually spawned, so that's something else they could force fights around. But as it gets later and later game, this composition is gonna be way too strong than for Tribe to hold on. Other than maybe Celeste and Samuel are gonna be pretty even. Flicker out burnt again. Nothing much is gonna be forced because Ace is just playing a little safer, and because of that, honestly Tribe should just push out the lane, go to Ghost Swing, try to force something there. But then they won't have their Flicker out. That's one of the problems, I guess. They could really force Ace back by walking into the mid lane instead of using Flicker out. Like in this case here.
Yeah.
Like right now they already have the advantage with Celeste range and poke. They already got Arden to about half HP. At this current point of time, all they had to do was really gather in mid, push up mid, and head over to Ghost Swing to try to pressure out something over there. But they're not doing macro well at all. I think that is their main problem. Mechanics wise, I think Tribe's pretty good. There is no problems with their mechanics really, but it's simply about a macro rotation and how they play as a team compared to Ace. Even though they have a goal lead, like, it feels as if they don't. It feels as if the game is very even. They try to force Ghost Swing here, but I think this is gonna get stopped. Yep, this is gonna get stopped by hard engage. And Churn Walker gets his hooks down. I think this was the fight that Tribe won because of their lead. This was how they have to play the game out, in which they force a fight around Ghost Wing. Like they could have done this earlier at 7 minutes with the Flicker out that they used. They already had map control. They already had a top lane rotating down while Sweetbox was stuck at top. They had mid lanes pushing when Shana was at mid. So it was a 3v3, it was a 5v3, and they didn't do Ghost Wing. They tried to catch someone, and they didn't do anything after that. They could have done something like this, where they forced a fight and hard engaged with a Flicker. As you can see, this fight is basically over. They killed Chun, and they turned on to Ghost Wing. Now our main problem here is that Celeste actually ran out of mana. So that they tried to do Ghost Wing, and we'll see what happens there. I think I know exactly what happens. Saw this part. Yep. So basically, Anka and Arden were trying to contest. Sweetbox went in for a punch way too early here. I think it was competition nerfs, in which he didn't Vanguard over the wall as well, because he makes his B, so his range isn't that far. But honestly, if they were to play this better as a team, Arden should have went downwards towards the Ghost Wing pit and just Vanguard over the wall instead, because that's his only way of surviving. Because of that, he threw his life away, but I guess it all works out in the end because of what Tasa did here. Tasa's A was a little early, but he managed to make it work because, like, what Tribe did was smart. They didn't hit Ghost Wing because they wanted to let the dagger timeout because it's 1.8 seconds. So, but what Tasa did was quite phenomenal in which he used his whole entire kit with his Dance of Blades, which is B ability, and then he autoed it to execute it at the last second before outing. Well, actually he just used his B. Because
they're so low.
And then they're all low, he's low as well. Then Shana comes back and he glitched forward a little here. That's why he was able to get this A ability on and killed the guy, and Tasa was very overextended here, so he died. There was really no point, like the team could have gotten the kill. Very nice kill by Creation on Flicker, almost taking down Reza, forcing it out. Yeah, so that was a one team fight. Basically they had 4 members up versus 2 of Ace Gaming. Ace Gaming, honestly I think in these kind of cases they should have just settled for pushing of lanes rather than doing Black Claw because of how healthy Arden and Anka both was, with Anka's whole kit being up, including his flask. I think his flask was... wait, it might be down. Yeah, I think it was down. So, yeah, let's just move on into this game. If I'm right, there was another Black Claw player here that threw from the side of Ace Gaming, and because of that, Ace was... Tribe Gaming, then Ace was able to capitalize on that and end the game. So, the thing about Ace is they're always pushing out lanes before they force something. So Sweetbox is the top lane is pushed out by Sweetbox. They're pushing out mid lane and then they rotate together. What the side of Ace is Tribe is doing is after Sweetbox has pushed out top lane, Max Green has gone top. After Shana and the rest of the team has pushed out mid lane, Chuck is forced to go mid. So they're always one step behind in terms of rotating wise, and this is probably why Ace is able to force so much objectives and team fights around. Thanks for all the feedback, Cote d'Ivoire. You're welcome, Pipitapia. It's very we were really rooting for all the teams that went, including Tribe actually. Like even though yeah, they got a really nice rotation actually here. I remember seeing this part and I was quite like they wanted to catch Max Green a little too hard, and they ended up getting rotated by the whole of Tribe Gaming, and because of that, Creation is going to go down here, as you can tell. Yep, he went down. Anka is not gonna go down though, I think. Yep, not just yet. I think this Silvernail could have played this better because when Shana was rotating here, like he used his ultimate a little too late. I'm not sure why. I think he was trying to kill Tasa here. He could have stunned Shana right on this wall, and he wouldn't have popped his reflex block because it's very hard to reflex a point blank Silvernail out like that, and he would have been gone cost. They could have forced Black Claw afterwards as well. But as for right now, they already got 1 kill on top, so Max Green is low. They try to force Black Claw. I think this is the fight that they shouldn't have forced, I think. With 1 down, it's a little too risky to take Black Claw. I think they ended up throwing their lives here. Chuck standing. Okay, so one positioning here. One bad problem here is that for Black Claw, the thing about Black Claw is that it isn't as devastating as Ghost Swing in terms of single target damage. So you don't have to have your support standing on top of it, because all is the damage of Black Claw is not going to be as much as Ghost Swing on a single target. So he doesn't have to tank here. Instead, he could body block a little bit of Samuel. And because of that, Chuck's positioning is also a little too far forward. Because of that, it took a lot of damage, and he ended up going down to Anka. And the cameraman didn't look at it, but Samuel out connected. Anka got a Quadra, could have gotten a Penta. Creation was just like, nope, that's mine. And he stole it. Yeah, that was pretty funny. But because of this, they got a Black Claw and they just pushed to end. Yep. So, I mean, with this composition here, with Churnwalker, Samuel, Kinetic, Anka, they basically have a lot of poke with Black Claw. Look, they are all half HP and they cannot really engage past this. On top of that, their only good engage is Flicker. So they tried for it, and then Samuel, spelling it out, just throws an ability. All of them are forced back. Christian actually got a little caught up there, but I mean, who's there to catch him, right? Everyone was low. So they actually went back for Ghost Swing, a really good call, because... Did Arden have his gauntlet? No, Arden didn't. So knowing Ace Gaming, how they play it is usually with Black Claw pushing. As soon as this turret drops, they're just gonna engage right here and end off the game from 1 gauntlet. But because the gauntlet's not up, they choose to back for Ghost Swing because all their cooldowns are down. The sleep's down, Chomoka's out's down. Anka and Kinetic has their outs, but those are...
They're both pretty low as well.
Yeah. Got poked out by Celeste as well. Got a free Ghost Swing here. And they're beautifully spotted out the Celeste ultimate, which is pretty nice, and they took the crystal buff away from the side of they took the crystal buff away from the side of Tribe Gaming here. Anka has to go clear the lane. Now this is a time where Ace Tribe really can't do much, because the way Ace plays it, you realize that when every single time that Ace has a lane pushed against them like this, like Tribe has a lot of space to rotate S5. But what is there for them to take? Black Claw is down, Ghost Wing is down, the buffs are all down, so they can't take their own buffs. Their only next choice is to make a pick off the buffs on the enemy team, or simply just push out the lanes and hope and just keep playing it out until a dragon spawns or a team fight breaks out. Which is the main problem that Ace plays it really well, is that every time there's a dragon up, their lanes are always pushing. Every time there's a dragon down, they could let lanes like this push out, and Tarzan just goes back for free farm, because there's really nothing else other than farming at this point of time. And after clearing this out, basically they pushed out all lanes and they went back to mid, get their S5, and tread for something. Pretty standard rotations all around. Yep, they're getting control over Black Claw pit, because Black Claw is going to spawn before Ghost Swing by about 15 seconds, because the timer for Black Claw is basically they still have the Ghost Swing push. They still have a bit of the Ghost Swing buff, which is why they're able to basically push out a little more confidently. And if I'm right, they got a free turret here at the top lane because of how much they had, and because they already took the position advantage. Tribe rotated a little slowly and reacted a little slowly to this, in which Tribe cannot come from behind because they're behind right now in terms of team fighting and everything.
Oh.
They're going to lose the fight like any day. Like that was basically a clean wipe because of the draft, how it plays out. Basically they had Chen Walker and Samuel into a double dive comp, and Celeste and Nail can really do nothing with Samuel zoning them out, as well as Creation has a little more single target damage and CC to melt Max Green and Flicker, rather than Sylvanil have to melt an Arden, because Nail doesn't really have much of a DPS. It's more of the CC and positioning and the pokes that you can do. So they're not getting a free turret here because they try to come from behind, but there's no way for them to win a fight here. As you can tell, this is what I mean by positioning of Dark Lawn. So a common mistake that a lot of Chen Walker would make right now is they get 2 hooks. They're confident they'll get a third on Chuck, they'll get a third or fourth on these guys. But the thing is, this is a very bad spot for Chen to be in, and by the time he has 4 to 5 hooks, he'll be 1 bar, so he'll be almost dead. So it's a smarter choice, which is what he did later on, in which you can see this is how Chen Walker is meant to be played. He runs away, he drops all his hooks because it doesn't matter. His survivability is more important. In the later fights, his damage share is going to be even more insane. So right now he's in a safe position. He actually starts landing his hooks. Gabe's actually going to pop his ultimate. Someone's already going to go down because of the single target burst that Ace has. Creation is getting really low. Jumps out perfectly, lands a stun and peels for himself. And at this point of time, the fight is basically over. Adajo tries to frontline. Anka goes in for a very nice kill. Celeste is the only one alive with a very low Reza. So they're just gonna wipe this out and end off the game. There's nothing at all that Tribe can do about this. So they're just gonna use TP boots because it's low. The chances of winning at this point of time with 16 seconds on the closest tank being alive, there is 0 chance of really Tribe doing anything here, because on top of that, Reza is a nice build, but the cooldowns are down as well. Yeah, the cooldowns are way too down for the side of Reza as well. It's really impossible to defend in a case like this. So that is going to be it for the series between Tribe and Ace. I think this series puts Ace forward in terms of confidence level, and basically because this is the mentality effect of winning your first game against North America when you haven't faced them off in a year, and the last time you versus them it was a loss. So I think that gave them a lot of confidence boost and more decisiveness in their calls, in which ended up giving them the win, because the way they played against Ace in the earlier game, they played, I honestly think that Ace played a little more messy than they usually play, because Ace is usually a team that plays very flawlessly in their team fights and their rotations. There was a lot of cases in that game where they could have gotten caught out, like Shanna was here in the mid lane almost getting caught out and stuff. Like all these cases would not happen if they were really comfortable on the stage. But I think that's just a case where some of them are still a little nervous about the playing on the stage, as well as playing against opponents which you haven't played in ages. I'm pretty sure they screamed, but I think their last scrim was all the way in the nearing the mid-year and June period where Tribe was still taking games off Ace. Okay. Enjoy your content. Thanks, Jack. Welcome to the stream. Welcome all of you to the stream here. So this is gonna be between Nova and Clash. Alright, let's just do a vote. Who wants to watch who wants us to analyze the match between Nova and Clash? If not, we can just move on to perhaps Clash versus Ace or Tribe versus Clash, or no. Yeah, we could go for the third place versus second place match, or we can go for the first and second place match. Which one do you think we should do?
Me?
Yeah. Do you want to do the finals or do you want to do the semis?
We can do the semis and the finals then, I guess.
Yeah, I think we might. This is the starting match, so we just. Of course, Clash. I've watched the matches basically from the side of Clash. They play in terms of macro play. They played a little better than so far the North America team, especially Tribe. But I have never really seen. I have actually not really analyzed and watched Nova play, so I can't really see what's the big problem for Nova. But we're just gonna skip through and go straight to where. Let's see. Let's go straight to the semifinals. Ace versus Clash. Yeah, this is the semifinal match here. This was already mid-game. Let's go a bit back. We can start this game from around the mid-game and we'll see what's going on, I guess. So as you can tell, they rotated for creation basically. I think Scarf Jungle. So Scarf Jungle is a pick that basically if we analyze what Ace is doing, they're typically always picking junglers that can siege, bot laners that can do very high DPS as well as protect themselves. They often have a top lane that is mainly for winning, and a mid lane that has most of the time a little bit of priority as well as good poke, which is what they're going for here. And for support, they're just going anything under the sun because anything really works in the support role if your team plays around it really well, in which Ace does pretty well. Andor on weapon Vox. Vox is actually not one of the better picks in 3.8, but in 3.9 I think it got a little stronger because of the whole change to the meta. Hyper carries are actually a little better in the late game than it carries, like, even though Kinetic's kind of broken, it's kind of excuse me. Kinetic's kind of in a broken spot right now where it is too strong for its own good.
Yeah.
Like a hero with that much escapability and
Damage.
poke, damage, CC should not have that much of DPS. Like compared to a Vox, he has basically nice mobility. He has CC, like a stun that Vox doesn't have. All Vox has is a silence. It has more single target damage than a Vox because of the build path that it goes and because of the combos he can do with this auto and A resets. So it's really just from EU. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so it's really Kinetic's in a broken spot right now. So Vox is really hard to contest. Sweetbox is a very nice glaive player. He used to play at the start of the year. He stopped playing for a while, but I guess he brought it back for 3.9. He's a little too low here. Trying to bait out Anka probably. Anka's dagger. I'm not sure if he's gonna get baited by that, but it's actually does he have a reflex? He doesn't have a reflex block. The only way for him to really outplay Glaive there would have to be throwing his dagger, and because he has a boots, he could have.
You don't want to go diving in.
What happened? Are they lagging? Yeah, they're lagging.
They were already in the hand so much.
Yeah, they're lagging. Yeah, but actually in this case here, they could have gotten Glaive pretty easily actually. Because he was too low here. Cracks could have went in for the kill because Glaive has an afterburn, but all Cracks has to do is boots in, throw his dagger, or throw his dagger in the time where there was no minions body blocking. Like here, he should have thrown his dagger instead of his B ability, and he should have just boosted in right here, force the afterburn on Glaive because Glaive has to afterburn away before he throws his B ability. So if he afterburns, just all he has to do is teleport to his dagger and immediately ulti before Glaive has the before Glaive uses his knockback. And I think Glaive would just instantly die there. He has his flask up, so there's no risk. But I think this is just they're just playing a little more safe, I guess. Because Sweetbox is a really good player, and they don't want to risk that. So All this teeny bit of details don't really matter, I guess, because it's just one kill even though. Yep, and this is the pause. As of every single game, there will be a pause. From EU, yeah, EU should be proud of Clash. Clash did really well. Yep. So in this case here, Shana is a pretty good Marine in the sense that he knows. He often likes to catch the enemy team, like in this case where he almost caught out Cracks here. I think he went for it. I'm not sure if he got it because wait, let me check the cooldowns here. Oh, Cracks actually. There's no way for him to run. Marine has the speed boost from a B ability in a few seconds like earlier, so he was able to get him. Thing about Anka is it's good when you're going in and you can come out after you engage the fight, but it's really bad when you're getting dived on, especially by something that can just keeps chasing and have movement speed. So they forced out a turret here. Samuel actually doing a little bit of AoE damage, forcing them away, but what's the there's no real point after that because they already got the turret. That's all they wanted, that's all they stayed for, and now they turned on to go swing. Look at the objective control of Ace though. They have Glaive pushing out mid lane, so someone has to go mid, and they have three strong objective takers here. Malene, Scarf as well as Creation. So right now all they have to do is force this, and if I'm right, they lost this fight here. Just honestly, yep, they lost the fight here. But because of
the steal.
Yeah, no, it didn't get stolen though. Arden secured it. Look, Arden secured it, and he water it up, and he got it. So what happened was they got a Ghost Wing without losing anyone, which is very.
They lost someone.
They lost. No, they didn't. I think.
Oh, they didn't.
Oh wait, they did because Glaive got hooked back by Tyrus. Very nice hook back. But they basically traded one kill for Ghost Wing, which is pretty worth it because at least early on he can Glaive can respawn and still have 1 minute in of the Ghost Wing buff, which they can force something around. But they also lost mid turret, so that's something that is not that worth losing. But Scarf is just gonna clear the wave, nothing's gonna happen. Turret's still gonna go down, and they managed to get the blue jungle as well. So this is not a bad play from the EU team. But honestly, Ace Gaming, while forcing the rotation here for Ghost Wing, I think the main mistake was they're really not healthy, and the positioning they are taking here, like Scarf is taking to the top side of the pit, whereas Shana as well. So if they wanted to sneak a Ghost Wing and run away, like in this kind of cases, it's either they really Glaive engages and picks off Samuel. That's the only way they can get the Ghost Wing and get like objectives like bottom lane turret, like the second tier bottom lane turret. But in this kind of cases, they were kind of split in the sense that they weren't hitting the same thing. Two of them were hitting Ghost Wing, two of them were trying to pick out, and because of that, Shana actually almost went down, and like they actually stopped doing damage to Ghost Wing for a while, and that because of that, they threw one kill, they threw one mid turret, and they threw the blue jungle as well. So it's very nice. It was a very nice chain of events coming from the EU team as well because they actually played it well. They actually played it really well in the sense that they contested Ghost Wing at the right time. They had 5 men in. They approached the pit together because that's to prevent anyone from getting caught. Even though Samuel was slightly deep in a little too early, but the whole team backed him up. Glaive didn't go for the catch. He had a reflex. No, he doesn't have a reflex block. They probably would have. No, they don't even have a crucible. Yeah, so that was an easy catch. I think they should have went for the catch as well. They got a whole blue jungle from that as well. Yeah.
So a great job by Clash recognizing what was happening and being able to massive minion wave up in the top lane though. Someone from Clash is gonna have to react to that eventually. Cracks.
They want you to talk more, man.
He's up against
Vix wants you to talk more.
I feel like that's a
I can't see.
Oh.
Oh.
It's okay, you see
All
now?
the analysts are here.
Yeah.
Well, Creator Boss perspective. I share his perspective mostly. I mean,
We are typically people who...
We're in the same team,
yeah,
so...
we're in the same team. The way we see things are very similar, even though there are a bit differences, and I get that. So,
yeah.
the team fight here, okay, let's go back and see this team fight here. You can analyze this team fight right here, boy.
There's nothing much to analyze. They have Ghost Wing. They could have just taken this tower. Because they have high... Yeah, and they actually get down. Anka, do they? No, they don't. Oh, they do actually.
They did.
With kinetic. Okay, there's no way Scarf could escape here. He died for the tower just now.
Yep.
But it was all worth trade because they got a tower. and mid lane as well, if I'm not wrong. I think they're gonna get down mid lane here.
Yeah,
Yep, they do. So it's really worth it.
It's
They
pretty worth it.
really can't get Black Claw because Anka's down.
Malin's not gonna die here.
Everyone's really
Malin
low.
can win this fight if Handor keeps chasing because
Yeah.
Malin's very burst heavy, whereas Handor couldn't get in range and he had to chase a lot.
And he only has tier 2 boots. So
Yeah,
you can
and
easily
in my
win.
opinion, the bottom lane could have been done cleaner in the sense that they actually threw a little. Let me go back to this part right here.
I mean, they didn't need to engage in the tower. I mean, on the Anka.
They threw a little here because there's two ways. Either they kill the Anka first and take the turret, or they take the turret first and run. Because look, when Glyph afterburn, they threw all their skill shots at the turret. Like what they could have done is they could have stood around near where Glyph, the angle Glyph was at. During the stun, they could have already deleted Anka. They wasted a lot of time here. And because of that, Anka, they had to chase so much and they got a good positioning off that.
And they got their formation broke.
Yep, and on top of that, I think, let me see the cooldowns here. Arden
At the
has
same
a...
time, Vox was at the top lane though, so they saw that and that's why they probably thought they could have some. And they didn't expect to get countered by the three techno.
Three-man
so much.
rotation, yeah. I mean, it was a 4v3 actually. They could have fought this. I think they ran a little too much because they still had a Renault, still had a Fountain of Renault, and they had a Arden with a reflex block, which can basically body block. Okay, so something that people do, or I should say like people who I should say tanks supports.
Yeah.
To counter Chen Walker.
Can block the hook once.
Yeah. To counter Chen Walker at this current juncture where you don't have a Crucible yet, and Chen Walker has the ultimate up, which is in 1 second. To counter it, all you have to do is really use a reflex block on his first hook. It will go on second for 4 seconds. You can fight around with a useless Chen Walker because Chen Walker cannot activate any of his abilities.
Yeah.
So if they use that strategy, Arden just engaged onto the Chen Walker, and all the carries just had to keep the distance off Adagio from the stun, and Arden could try body blocking Samuel's A ability as well, because it's very predictable where Samuel is heading towards as well. So they could have turned the fight around. Glyph was here as well. His aftermath was only 3 seconds, but he ran upwards and they left Scarf here to die.
Yeah. Altogether though, I think Kilash's composition was in the siege heaviest Ace, and that's why Ace can pull out a lot of macro stunts like taking towers really quickly. Compared to Vox. Vox only has wave clear. He doesn't much have tower sieging potential actually.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Handor made a smart decision. Yeah, Handor made
to
a
not
smart
chase
decision
because he would have died. A blue buff Malin with sustain, a bit of sustain from Athos.
And a lot of burst.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Nothing much going on pretty much here. They're just gonna get dragon control. As always. Anka pops. Anka almost got caught, did he? Yeah.
Yeah, Ace macro play really is good though. They're like 2 kills behind but have 4 kills.
Yeah, look at Shanna. This is what Shanna does on Malin. He always does this. He always is the one that is hiding super far away from the team, but always hiding in a bush that someone would face check. In this case, Anka face check. What they did was they forced someone to be out of the fight. In this case it was Anka. Look at Anka's HP right now in the bottom right corner. They took him down like 1.3k health simply by camping in the bush, forcing his ult. He's completely out of the fight. He can't join the fight, and Shanna barely lost any health. And they just turned on the Black Claw where his aftershock proc basically will heal him up. And Anka is no longer in the fight. So right now, they basically have control over Dragon. But if I'm right, they are using the Dragon to force the fight because Anka is out of the fight and it is too risky to force a 4v5 contest over Black Claw because it's basically flipping a coin to see which team gets it.
From Arden.
Yeah, very nice gauntlet zoning, but I think
he almost gets down there, but Anka dies though because Blaven decided to go on him. I mean kinetic. Oh, he doesn't die actually. Yeah, this is where Kilash's comp actually doesn't
do well because
really do well. They don't have a lot of damage.
Yeah, they really lack a lot of damage, I think.
Honestly, Kinetic and Scarf has the highest damage output in the game right now.
Yeah, and right now, like, Anka is always, or I should say, in the past 2 fights, like the one at bottom lane and the one here, like, Anka is supposedly one of their main damage dealers as well, but he could barely do anything because of how Shanna is playing. Like, I think Shanna's lagging here. Yeah,
he's pretty behind though. I mean, Anka, he's behind. He's 1 in 4.
Yeah, their priority on...
Maybe it was the lag just now, but
Shanna
now
was lagging. Yeah, now Shanna's lagging. Team Ace is a crazy team, always backdoor.
I mean,
I
that's
mean-
what they have to do.
Team Ace Gaming has one of the highest, or I should say, right now in Vainglory 5v5, they have the highest priority on the win conditions. They know their win conditions so well, it's almost impossible to beat them. And in a high stake game, because typically when teams compete at a level like this, there's bound to be a lot of nerfs. So
Yeah.
there are bound to be miss blocks. There are bound to be miss positions. There are bound to be miss engages, miss calls. Like, but the thing about Ace is that they know and are aware of all this, and because
Yeah.
because of that, they don't take risks team fighting when the stakes for the game is really high. They end up just keep pigeonholing. They will keep pigeonholing on basically the win condition, which is taking down the Vein Crystal. So because of that, they are taking down objectives, turrets, left, right, center. They are not really team fighting much. They're getting Black Claw, they're getting dragons, they're getting picks to dragons, and then they just backdoor. Just very smart to
Well,
do. In a
objective
very high stake.
taking is really the meta though.
Yeah, it
I mean,
is.
it's not really about the picks. As you can see, there's only 11 kills in the game right now.
Yeah.
And
Later in the finals, there'll be 2 kills, I think.
yeah,
Yep. Very smart rotation.
More than willing.
as you can see, they try to avoid fighting and just take the objectives. Because once that lane is open, it puts Ace in a really good position to do a lot of stuff later.
And
Backdoor if they have to.
And they still have Black Claw pushing.
Yeah.
So in this case, Clash is forced to stop them from entering the base. Shana can play as aggressive as he wants because he's Malin, and they're most probably going to back off here for Ghost Wing. No, Cracks went in. They're gonna pick this. They're gonna pick Cracks off. Yep, and they're pretty low. I don't think they will force anything here. They're just they're trying to force an end here. Nope, they're gonna go swing. They're not gonna conserve the Fountain of Renewal. There's no point conserving it too when your teammates are low. Oh, this rotation is pretty nice by Clash. 4v5, but they have the confidence to pick someone off like that. That's why they almost got someone. And I think Malin might go down here actually.
No.
Nope, very nice turnaround. And to protect Malin by Glaive there.
At this point,
Flame
Ace is
Pop.
too far ahead.
Yeah.
They can't do anything.
But they might go down here if they misplay. I think yeah.
Maybe Glaive, yeah.
Glaive will definitely go down here.
Maybe even Tasa actually.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
They were very smart. They were very smart about how they actually turn the whole thing around. In which here they knew Malin was hiding in the bush, so they put a scout cam when they entered. Look, and immediately spots him out. The carry stay back so they won't get hit by the Dark A by Malin, and they caught Glaive out because Glaive. Ace wanted to turn around so bad that they pigeonholed on that and they couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, Q-Lash had a pretty good game knowledge, knowing that everyone was already backed off, especially the Ace team.
Very nice use
But
of
then again,
Fortress.
Tasa was a bit overextended there.
Yeah. Because his whole team tried to turn around, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have escape anymore. Used it in the mid lane, when he was getting chased. Used this reflex block and everything.
Very
So right
good
now,
capitalized by...
yeah, but right now they're overstaying right now because I think they might get picked off here.
Yeah, there's only 3 at bot lane.
Yep,
and the
they
entire
are
Ace is dead.
definitely going to get picked off. I mean, look at the damage they're doing though. They're doing really good damage. Even though it's a 3v5 or 3v4 in this point of time,
It's
because
the
Shana
candy,
has
the minions.
the
so
Vox,
much.
Vox was doing
Yeah.
a lot as well. Yeah, I think that's the strength of Clash, is that they're not scared. They're not scared if it's a 3v5. They are still able to bring turrets down.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, what's good is that they're decisive. That's the thing that
Yes,
puts
yes.
them.
I
on
think
top of the
that's
rest.
I think that's something that a lot of teams can learn from as well. Their decisiveness is actually one of the top that I've seen like so far. One of the best.
Yeah, just now Tribe felt really messy. In that Flicker always ulted, but nothing was being done.
Yeah, and even Ace felt a little messy in some of their calls where like people keep getting caught out, or like they would attempt go swing and end up throwing 5 kills over.
Maybe it's just the competition
Yeah,
vibes.
the nerves, man. The
Yeah.
nerves gets everyone, or maybe it's just like maybe the problem, or I should say like they don't practice like shot calling in high intensity situations. But Clash has pretty good knowledge over pushing lanes as well. Like you see, they are always prioritizing pushing our lanes. This is the game-ending team fight here. Shana's gonna do the same thing. This is gonna play the most aggressive here in the team fight, but Malin's not gonna be as strong as Samuel right now in terms of AoE damage. Like, they can easily poke the Glaive out. Glaive, even though he used his ultimate, he's still pretty low. This is a fight for Ace to really not be able to do anything. If they capitalize on it, Glaives might go down. Very nice almost pick on there, and Churnwalkers, yeah, just look in this case. Look in this case where this is the problem about Churnwalkers, in which getting 3 hooks does not mean that you win the fight, because honestly you can get hooks, but none of your damage dealers are with you, so you end up getting poked down to below half HP, like as simple as that, and you only got 1 hook down. Imagine getting 3, you just get really low. You get 1 stun on creation because of the Beast block, but bro, that gauntlet was beautiful.
Yeah, he split the entire team and
shit.
stunned the god.
Darklon, the god.
Clash looking for a kill. Can they find any? Moline still very healthy. It's actually
But looking at it, actually, maybe Kulash had a very high chance of winning because their team fights are being won. But anyone get cut out here? How'd they end up losing this though?
In my opinion, like when I see how the fights are playing out, the only way for Clash to lose is like through macro play, which means if Ace goes for a split push, Kinetic can easily 1v1 any of these guys, or if they're throwing this fight right here, they are
really
all
low.
half HP. Scarf just has to out right here, and yep, but that they lost this fight already. Yep, they are all way too low for Scarf to handle. Shanna actually survived with 1 HP. That's rubbing salt in Clash's wounds. They're very decisive. They play really well together. They team fight well as well. The only problem with Clash right now is, I think it's more of the short calls, as well as, like, in this kind of cases, when Churnwalker is forced to tank the back claw, who's there to really stand in the front line to get like hooks off, CC off on these guys?
Churnwalker is actually half health.
And in this case, they misplayed so badly. They ran straight into a Maline's Dark Tendrils, and all of them got taken down about 500 to 600 HP in one ability, in which they couldn't touch Shanna at all. Like, look, boom, instantly 500 HP gone.
Yeah.
Can you give your thoughts about the jungle picks during Worlds because in this game Scuff is played and Lorelai has been played often too, but our junglers like Flicker and Inara better? Commentate. We're not gonna commentate over this because this is an analysis stream, not a commentating stream. But as for the question you asked about the junglers, do you wanna add, do you wanna speak about that at all?
What do you say?
Your opinions on jungles, like in these worlds, you see junglers like Scarf, Lorelai, there are Flicker, Inara, all these heroes being picked up. What do you think about like them? Like, good? Not good?
I think they're good. I mean, junglers now, the jungle is a bit too tanky, so junglers end up having to stay in lane. So having Scarf or Lorelai to siege the lane actually is better than trying to catch someone out than Inara or Flicker, I think. If you want to go Flicker, probably best in top lane. Inara, I'm not actually sure where she goes. What do you think?
Inara, I really not think Inara would be a very viable pick, but if it is in somewhere, it would be in the jungle because of the mobility he has in the jungle. All he has to do is get a Stormcrown for the clear, or maybe I see a lot of people going for Spell Sword, which of course isn't what I like, because I like to invade and steal buffs, but a lot of Inaras like to just get Spell Sword to help clear the jungle, and because of that they can clear jungle really well. Clash actually picked Inara in one of the games. Tyrus actually picked Inara. Now he's playing jungle Churn, but he was playing jungle Inara. He did pretty well. They ended up winning the game. He is trapped with that. So that's that. But it basically what you said made a lot of sense. In which right now, because the game is more lane focused rather than jungle focused, I think heroes like Flicker and Inara should probably not be played in the jungle. Whatever you said makes complete sense. And another thing is, junglers like Churnwalker, which can impact team fights, are also very valuable.
Yeah.
In the sense that you either impact the game through team fights or through macro play, and macro play is things like taking down turrets, taking down objectives really quickly. Catching people out is really just a bridge to getting objectives. So here, because of the small throw they did, they got poked down too low. They've got a really nice pick there on those Samuel. Scarf got a really beautiful ultimate as well. Turn this fight around. Shanna really survived with so little HP. It's not fair. Yep. Clash ended up losing this game because of that fight. That's pretty sad, honestly.
It was actually maybe winnable for.
It was very winnable.
Clash.
It was very winnable. Like they had the idea
it was
right.
that one team fight, yeah.
Yeah. I think they were really close this time around.
Their base is already open from the start.
And for the side of Ace Gaming, draft wise, I honestly think that they could have played more macro, because if you're gonna go a Maline and a Glaive in your draft, you're not really going for a team fight heavy composition.
Yeah.
Because these aren't good in team fights compared to the enemy top laner. I think the top laner this game went, what did he go?
Anka.
Anka, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not really that effective as good in team fighting as Anka, because Anka can literally dive onto the back line, do insane AoE damage with his ult, and get out very safely. Whereas Glaive can only go in and die instantly. So even though like I think with the advantage that he had in the early game, he took down 2 turrets while still pushing. Like he could have switched to the opposite side lane, perhaps.
Yeah.
That was the problem with Ace's
But then again, they had Scarf and
Condition.
Kinetic, so that's 2 of the strongest teamfight heroes there.
Yeah, but Kinetic's actually known as one of the best split pushers.
Oh, yeah.
No one can contest Kinetic on the side of this team. No one can 1v1 him, including Vox. Like if Vox goes against Kinetic, he's gonna lose the fight with with Kinetic having over half HP left. And same goes for Samuel, Anka, Walker, or Adagio. So honestly, if they just stick together, Scarf alone with his team fighting skills is good enough with Arden and for example, Arden, Maline, maybe Arden, Scarf and Glaive could stick together and Maline and Kinetic could be split pushing. I think that would have been an easier way to win the game.
But
they lost a lot of
The
fights.
early Black Claw already took down the top and mid towers though, so
Yeah.
they didn't really need to do that. So they were trying to go for a push.
Right, a little sweat.
Leon's Clash would have gone all the way. His shot calling is on point. I mean, yes, like Leon's a very good player, mechanics wise, and game knowledge wise, shot calling wise, drafting wise. But in the sense that he has not been to an international competition, we won't know how he really fares until he actually goes to one. So that's still very early to say. As well as you can say that Clash Leon's shot calling is really on point, but honestly, Ace's shot calling is really on point as well. If you see the game winning plays they have, or game winning calls they have against the other teams, is really sick as well.
Yep.
For the draft here, we basically see very standard bans coming out. I think nothing worth mentioning. I think Lorelei was first picked here for the side of Clash. Oh, this is interesting though.
Ringo and Vox. But they
Yeah.
lose, so it's not interesting.
For this game, they're most probably gonna go for a. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, it's a jungle scarf. Yeah, I was gonna be like, what? They're gonna go tank scarf? Nani?
Yeah, let's
Hi
skip
guys.
forward here.
He's going next year. Hi Xavier. He's going next year. Yeah, sure. Then we'll see next year then.
Standard rotations. Pretty passive. Flicker tries to steal the enemy buff. Nothing much to see. Tetno going Vox CP mid. And Ringo bots. Okay.
Yep.
I thought they were double weapon per second there. But straight off the bat, which composition do you think is better?
If I were to choose a side, I would choose Clash's side. Clash's side won draft pretty hard in my opinion. In the sense that they have Ringo and Scarf and Vox, 3 very good counters into Lance and Samuel, and they have Lorelei to stop the dive from Anka as well as Flicker. So I think the only way for them to lose this game is really
Macro play.
yeah, it's really macro play because they're forced to stick together with this composition. Like just look at it, they have no split pushes at all. Whereas on the side of Ace, they have Kinetic and they have Flicker, which can both split push really well as well as 1v1 really well. But I'm really not sure how Clash lost this game. Let's just find out probably through snowballing, perhaps, because I think their composition is so much stronger in the early game. They got the
I think
got the first
Keanu's
round.
lagging.
Keanu's
Okay.
lagging?
I mean, if you see how he's playing, look. I mean, just now it really looked like he was.
Here?
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
standing still.
He seems like he was lagging. He's still standing still.
I think they maybe could have played more aggressive in mid. Who knows? It could have been the box. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, I think it would make sense. Another thing that Lorelei could have done is gotten a crystal bit early. Because they're lagging? Oh wait, no. Yeah, I think having a crystal bit increases your laning potential as well as your damage dealing potential slightly a little bit, even though it's just one $300 item. It has more impact than just $300 on it.
Yes,
in
very
actual
nice
game.
map here.
Very nice map. Very nice pokes by Shanna actually. They got both. Hunter actually picked out the bot turret before them, so he's actually already going for the second.
Yeah, actually,
I think that calls for a gank, really. That really calls for a gank.
yeah, but it's pretty early in the game, 4 minutes in, and Ringo is doing well bot lane, pushing out.
Like, in this situation here, if Lance and Scarf rotates, both Ringo and Scarf would have died. Like, really. There is no possible way for them to escape a Flicker, Lance, and Samuel combo.
Samuel's really low energy though.
Yeah, but all they had to rotate was the thing about look at the HP on Ringo's side.
Yeah, he's even lower and
He's
doesn't have
even
flash.
lower. He doesn't have escape. This guy doesn't have escape. Flicker with Dragon Blood can easily do that, but he doesn't have Dragon Blood, I guess.
He doesn't have ult though.
He doesn't need the ult. He just need a B with boots.
Yeah.
But
But
I think
if flash rotates, that
I
would
think-
give mid a chance to push in.
yeah.
And they would know as well.
they can know, but I doubt they can react to.
Oh damn,
Oh,
sweet box
very
going
nice.
on again.
Very nice.
Okay, I think this is the part. Did they back? No, they don't.
Nope. Apparently not. Not just yet. They got a turret. Yep. Sweetbox is resorting to mid candies already. Their push is actually really good. The way they pushed, because sticking 2 turrets in 5 minutes is actually really good.
It makes me wonder how they lost.
It's league meta, but why implement it in this patch? Let us during why y'all have ball in mid lane while the support goes bot.
Another pause though here.
Okay, wait. Let's answer
Nice
a little bit
one.
of questions. During WSG, we go jungler in mid and support in bot. So basically, why we do that is that right now in the top lane, there are very few picks. We still want to play. We still want to have the same team fighting as of having a tank top, being a frontline in team fight. So we don't want to give that up by going a laner that can survive 1v2 and these things like Maleen, things like Reza and stuff that could probably perhaps survive in a 1v2 situation, but have no impact in fights. We still want the impact in fights from our tank top. So by drafting that for the top lane, the main weakness will be holding turrets. So we really need the mid duo to rotate and pick off kills. Really like pick off kills and stop the enemy pressure from the bot lane duo. So because of that, we end up putting jungle in mid because the mid jungle rotation is basically 100% kill because you have both damage as well as CC in most cases because we will always pair jungle and burst as well as CC in mid lane. So because of that, kills are easier to secure, and because of that, snowballing could be way easier as well. And of course, we don't really prioritize sieging in the bot lane because we're just gonna play it. The priority for Impunity is more towards mid and top side. Why implement it in this patch? It's because of the changes. Because actually we implemented it last patch where the jungler actually as a jungler I already started sticking mid because there is one extra wave at mid. There's one extra minion every wave at mid, and because of that, also because I'm a very aggressive jungler, so I invade a lot in 3.8, where invading is very viable strategy. So because of that, having a mid lane, giving a mid laner solo experience is actually pretty darn worth it as well. He gets his levels really quickly on Scarf and Celeste, gets his level 8 really quickly. So when I invade and get XP and gold off the enemy jungle, he gets solo XP, whereas usually in the case, the support never ever lives mid. So because of that, the XP is always shared permanently between two members. Sure, it is more goal efficient slightly, but having I honestly think having this spike on your mid laner, and I still get a lot of ambient from mid, so because of that, I think generally that's the better meta for our team. Do you guys hear noise? You guys should try Sauce Craft Baron, Celeste 7 in bot lane. Hey, sorry late guys. Don't worry man, don't worry about it. You guys should try Sauce, Wu Hi Jedi. You guys hear noise? Was spoiling for people when analyzing Kappa. Thanks guys. Okay, let's continue on. Victory going for gank.
Yes, but they already had vision from there, and now we see Ace sticking 5-man mid, trying to take out the mid tower that's already low. Probably should be able to take this down. Maybe not actually, because of Lorelai's presence.
Vox is pretty nice with clear as well, and he got enough for an alternating current. Probably gonna see him back pretty soon here. Everything is pretty standard. Something that's not as standard is Frostburn being picked up on Samuel. I'm honestly not sure if that was a pity, but he did die because in this case it was a very nice synergy, I guess, because if Lance roots somewhere and he's forced to dodge, he'll run the other. Oh wait, he already had the dagger on before he roots. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was just really tough for Techno to even do much there.
Dodged a lot from Lance there, but
Yeah,
there's
poor
only so
Darklon.
much you can do.
Darklon missed like absolutely everything.
Yep, they got a free turret off the bottom lane of Clash.
All about the game. 3-1.
I really do not know how they lost this game though, because the draft really seems in favor of.
But now, how does Clash respond?
I think this was the game where
I feel like they
this
got
was the
caught
game.
out.
This was the game that Anka stole Black Claw. I think. No spoilers.
To the lane
yeah.
as well.
Yeah, it would take something like that to probably win.
Yeah, it'll probably take something like that.
Because
Like you're trying to gank.
portion, but then
But then again, they have flickers.
I don't think Stormcrown is that good of a buy on the top laner this update.
Who?
Stormcrown is not that good of a buy.
Oh,
And Frostburn is not that good of a buy on Samuel as well, because
If you get a little bit low,
right now the mid laners have very like low mana consumption, so
have to wait.
unless you have like abilities to spam, Frostburn is not as useful as Spellfire, because hitting one ability of Spellfire could take the guy down. Like as you can tell, Shana's instantly taken down to about lower than 2/3 HP, so that's pretty close to half. So I think Spellfire would be better, but they probably have their reasons for getting Frostburn. EA loves Frostburn in the 3v3 meta, so
cracks apparently. So
nice push in top lane here.
kind of
The Arden went War Thread's first item.
going towards a Crucible.
there. That's very cool.
Yeah.
I think perhaps they could itemize more offense before defense.
There's a
Yeah.
Because Shana builds Clockwork so he can spam. Oh, I see. That's why he goes for Frostburn, I guess. Because if you go Clockwork and you can spam abilities, then it's worth it to go for Frostburn
Down that turret pattern. That's one of the up these
for the constant slows.
You're gonna be able to.
How did they lose?
Going for the seat.
Techno
Could have
got
been fixed though. There's a flicker.
Techno got caught out. Anka
Flickers,
goes in.
unpredictability.
Very nice play by Anka.
Oh,
He's
he
gonna
gets
go
caught.
down.
Oh, does he?
Yeah,
Yes,
he does. Very nice stun by Keanu.
And
After
nice gauntlet as well.
yeah, very nice gauntlet stopping him from coming out as well. But while all this is happening, split pushing Kinetic is taking down turrets.
distract clearing out.
Yes.
But
Really dicey.
Will Kinetic win Ringo in a 1v1?
Yeah,
Difficult to roll.
pretty much.
Okay.
Until Ringo gets a reflex bomb, then Ringo can win. But if it really gets to the late game, I honestly think it's gonna be very even, and Kinetic might even still win out because of his A's are so painful. They are basically auto attack resets. So the thing about Kinetic is he can itemize a defense for Ringo, but Ringo cannot itemize defense because I mean Aegis is sort of a defense for a weapon, but Kinetic can go something as extreme as a metal jacket because Ringo doesn't have CC.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Kinetic has, that's why. So such a good split pusher, and now I'm a bot lane carry.
at all over the course of the entire day.
Who's CSing better? Are they equal? Handor CSing is better in this case, but
Right now,
I don't really think CS matters a lot, especially in this kind of games where
they can force the team
Oh,
target.
free top.
they traded a mid turret, but they got
For a
ghost swing.
ghost wing.
I honestly think that was decently worth it, even though they could have prevented that easily, because
From the fight.
I think that was a sneaky play.
Formation kind of broke up here, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah,
What a nice.
Scarf.
It's like Ace
Scarf went the other way.
Diving onto the scarf.
All the carries split up and they
Yeah.
got chowed down.
And Anka is really too. Anka is very fat here.
Yeah.
They managed to pick one return kill. They're gonna get another here. Probably. Yep.
Oh.
That's another. Very nice starter stepping by Handor. Victor's still looking for more though.
Yeah. Ivanka gets one A and
He has the AAU already, but he chose to not go in. Victor's just waiting.
Oh, here we go. Oh no.
The Vision game's strong, man. Yeah, but as you can tell, like the composition on Clash is so good that even though they got caught out and picked off two, they just 3v fight and took two down as well.
Yeah.
All thanks to Ringo and Scarf.
Maybe they just flat out lost due to mechanics. Ace has better macro mechanics, maybe that's why.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
I mean, Clash's mechanics pretty good as well, like what I saw, but maybe it's the teamfight shot calling as it's
I
pretty
mean, Vox
important.
was losing at mid lane with Lorelei, so
They could have played more aggressive, that I agree.
yeah.
I'm excited to see more carry on Sam.
She plays that you make the highlight reel.
Not much is going on at this current point of time. thing about having a Lorelei on your team is you can just use your A abilities to trade more regularly with Anka and Samuel, things with no mobilities like Flicker even. By stunning Flicker and throwing a fireball at him is better than keeping your cooldowns or your A ability permanently up on Lorelei.
Well, it's a double support comp.
Yep, it is.
Arden, no, it's because Fountain, Crucible, yeah.
I have no idea why, but the top laners this update are going for more of a support type of deal, even though I still think they can go damage and split push a little.
A bit damage, yeah.
He maxed his A even. His Vanguard, look. He maxed his Vanguard, he got Threads and Crucible. I think that's not that effective. But they traded Dragons, I think. This was the time where... Yep. I think this is the game, man. And... These Ankas... Nope, okay, what? Oh wait, sorry. Wait, sorry. I saw the wrong team here. I was like, Lance stole it. What? Then I realized that Lance was actually an ace set.
Oh, the Gauntlet is pretty wasted over there. Tried to go in too deep.
Yep,
goes
one down. You get a free Black Claw, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a very nice rotation coming up, and it was a good force engage.
They're probably gonna lose a tower here though. Top lane.
Top lane, yeah, they're gonna lose one there. They're not gonna lose mid if they all focus it, but Scarf is trying to defend top. Oh, they're gonna lose two. They're gonna lose two.
Yeah.
If Tyrus gets caught here, they might even lose more. Oh wait, they're not pushing up.
They didn't risk it. Maybe it's because of their health.
Dragon, man. The Dragon was already near down. They have too much DPS with Ringo. They're camping! It's not gonna be fun, boys. Not gonna be fun.
Oh no, that
But
flare.
Ace barely gets caught out because... yep!
Oh!
Yep, that's what I mean. Ace barely gets caught out.
Very smart.
They have very superior game sense, I guess. Very hard to catch them out unless you're camping in the right bushes. Because those bushes, camping bushes are very predictable in most of the cases. Especially when nothing else is happening on the map and no one's at lanes. So we can spam. Clash should have won. Yeah, this game Clash should have won, honestly.
Oh, nice root over there.
Yeah, but you see the composition. This is why Lance is so hard counted. They root him, and Lance is the one that took damage. That's why. That's what I mean by the draft is so hard for Ace, which I really do not know how they won. Cause like they're playing a team fight comp, and Lance cannot do anything into that. Lance is only good into dive. Yeah, Ringo's not gonna go down here as well. He's just gonna kite around, take down Sweet Box, perhaps. Dagger, not gonna land, I think. This is definitely a game where I think the Claw got stolen. In that case, Clash threw 2 games because of Black Claw, in which that is pretty darn unfortunate. Because they could have easily gotten this series from what I see in the draft.
Ouch.
Yep, this is what they can do. This is what I mean. Lorelei doesn't have to save his A ability, man. Like, one stun, the guy's stunned there for ages. He popped his ult. Fox can do a little bit of damage. And Anka is basically out of the fight. You need to do that a little more often. You can do that to Flicker as well.
They probably lost Black Claw.
Yeah. They could do that to Flicker as well. They can do that to Samuel as well. They can do that to anyone, but they're just not doing it. They're holding on to their abilities a little too much. They need to be poking and using their abilities a little more. On the side of Ace though, like their draft this game isn't really that good. This is definitely the fight that they threw, I think. This is the only way of coming back. Look, double stun, really nice stun. Keanu's mechanics is good on Lorelei, so I think he should play a little more aggressive here. They try to engage here. What's gonna happen? Let's see. Scarf's gonna out.
Whoa.
Whoa, what happened?
Because the sleep.
The sleep landed?
Yeah, look.
Oh my god, that is sad. That would have been a one fight right there.
Yeah.
Scarf's out got such good positioning. But then again, like I think this fight would still be a win for Clash because of their team composition. Simply because of their team composition.
And the ghost thing as well. I think they got stolen, right?
But why are they continuing this with Arden being so low though? Like
oh no, they got it though.
It was the next claw probably, but something definitely happened around this area. Because they're way too low. Oh, they gave a free Black Claw. So
Yeah, and bot
you
was
have to-
pushing, so they actually lost.
ah, goddamn, that was sad. They fought too long, really.
Yeah.
They fought too long, and they threw the fight slightly when they cut engaged. Oh, this is probably a turning point though. If they can catch Lorelei, Lorelei has no escape.
I mean,
Atlas would have been better than Jacket
following
for cracks.
not just trying to
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Atlas Pauldron.
give away 2.5. Or, sorry, it's less than. End up losing.
No one goes Atlas nowadays.
I mean, it really depends on whether you get Atlas the carries, I guess.
Once again, for the next team fight. That's been the story of this game so far. Is kind of
If you get Atlas, I think you need another Atlas on the team, which is the problem because they don't really have anyone that can Atlas and reach kinetic. Lorelei can't do that. Ringo can't do that. Scarf and Vox can't do that. Unless Vox goes like tanky as hell and just jumps in and Atlas the
I
guy.
mean, it's a CD box, they can't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
on the top.
Which is probably why he got Jacket, because if he gets blocked, he's dead in the fight because he's too near the kinetic.
Say a full.
It will give free stacks as well. He's gonna get BP for the last item. This will probably be one of like look at Ringo's damage though. Whereas if they play this right, they wouldn't have lost this game for sure. Ringo plus Scarf.
They find a flank onto this Ringo.
Oh no!
Oh
that-
no!
Gets blocked, but it's still locked.
Oh my god.
Okay, this should still be a win.
They won this fight. Definitely.
Water wall is gonna block.
Lance Vox and Scarf, man. I mean Ringo, Vox and Scarf, man. Lance can't do shit against that. But okay, I know what happened here. They probably overstayed and got killed by this guy. Yep.
It is gonna be Keanu Nakoa. I'd expect
There's one. There's two. And there's three. Oh my god, that is so unfortunate. And there's four as well.
turn things around.
Then
Rip.
rip.
That was the throw they needed. Look at that gold. Very
Yeah,
nice.
the goal came back. But the thing is, no matter how much the goal is, they had a better comp. They should have won.
Yeah.
They just had to fight properly like earlier.
They didn't need to rush things.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
This side.
There's no item silencers on the side of Ace, which is why I'm very confused on why Clash keeps getting CC'd by the sleep.
Yeah, and they have 2 crucibles as well.
Yeah, they have 2 crucibles, because it would be difficult for Kano to Atlas them. Yeah, it would be a bit difficult. Oh, they caught Ringo. Oh no, that's sad. They got a free gold swing.
Yeah.
No one can contest this unless Vox silences over the wall, which is impossible. So they got
Oh
it.
no!
Oh, no.
This is the part they lose, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Fight is gonna come.
Bam, bam. Oh no, the positioning and Nankasol Black Claw is already lost.
Yep, and while they were focusing Black Claw, look at the HP. Another Samuel's Barrage. Oh! All of them are one hit for Anka, boys. Yep.
They needed to drop that.
Yeah, they really needed to. Either that or make a
They
smart.
wanted to trade dragons again.
They lost this, and that's the game, I guess. There's no coming back from that. Yeah, that's the game. GG.
Feels bad.
Honestly, this series was a throw from Clash. I've watched the second series of Ace vs Clash, and it was definitely not just throws, but I think Ace learned a lot from that. Okay, this is
Chief Pat. Oh, what's happening?
that was a show match for
PC.
PC versus mobile.
Okay.
EA over EU over NA. Where is Southeast Asia? Southeast Asia will only come into play next year at WESG probably. Yeah, for the side of Ace and Clash, they actually met up rematched in the finals. This game was less interesting, I guess. Like I've actually seen this game. Basically the same thing happening all around.
Yeah.
Just sieging after sieging.
And Basil has obviously better comp here.
Yep, Ace. I have no idea what changed in the side of Clash or Ace. Don't know why the draft changed up so much, but Ace has a way better idea coming into the game than like in this game rather than the previous one.
Willing to hold on to
Arden Scarf though, they are so powerful in lane together, it's not even funny. Arden's laning face is stupid, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
So OP. Shitbox got caught here. I remember looking at this. He died to his kinetic. Oh freaking.
Ow. He tried to dodge the kinetic ult with using his ult.
They're trying to lifesteal as much
Maybe
as
we could hit the ult in the air.
Sort it away, sort a bullet away like a fly.
Yeah.
Southeast Asia and Impunity needs to go to Invitational. You didn't show Clash versus Tribe. We don't really have time to go through all the matches, so we're just skipping a little. Going through the more we went through Ace versus. We went through every team except Nova, basically. I don't think we'll have time for Nova, but we'll just finish off this series here, which is the Grand Finals. We're gonna get a free goal swing here. Nice rotations by Clash. Unless... No, I remember this went over to them. Yeah, let's go. And what's going on here? They got pressure down the bot lane. Top lane got a little pressure as well. I remember this game, turning point was when they did some really nice catches with Glaive as well. Oh, this play gave me like shivers, man. Look at Ace played this out so perfectly that it's amazing. Look at this. So they got a turret. That was their goal, okay? So they got the turret. So at this point of time, the turret was one auto. Creation knew that he had to run away because Adagio was gonna kill him. He didn't have a block. He wasn't gonna get altered by Kiano. He still had his tier 2 boots up. He was low
So
already.
altered.
So no, he ran topside. Yeah, he knocked Reza back, then he ran topside. And look at the discipline. Look at the freaking Lorelei. He didn't out yet, and now he outs. Only when Reza pops is out. And then he just ran downwards. So it was at this time where I was like, oh, now Tasa's gonna die, right? Because this guy's rotating. Then after that, he landed a stun to buy time for Arden to come, and then Arden comes along, saves his ass, and then Arden didn't want to reflect resonance to these two guys, so he went in with the gauntlet, and then he just boots out. Like, that's so perfect, though. The way they played that out. Yeah. Tribe is irrelevant in 5v5, they are overrated to be honest. They're not irrelevant really, it's just... I think it's mainly the calls and the macro play. That was damn sick, I remember that. Yeah, this whole event showed why Ace was basically the best team in the world. I saw this part as well. Chana basically got whacked a lot and went down to the team, and Sweetbox almost went down as well. Very nice Renault pop saving his ass. Craig's got a top turret here. Clash is very decisive with the calls, but in this game Ace actually made a lot better calls than in the previous, and their draft was better of course. The play at the bot lane though, that was basically the play of the... What do you guys think about Tribe? Like, what and where are the weak points? I think we analyzed them earlier. Basically, I'd say mechanics is not their weak point. Probably the thing is will probably be around the draft as well as macro play. Will probably be their weaknesses. Strengths probably be their mechanics as well as experience, because majority of the players in Tribe have tournament experience, and that's very important because being able to perform in a live event is two different things from being able to perform in scrims as well as in the ranking at home, of course. Yeah, so Treasure's gonna go down. They tried to catch Reza here. Yeah, they probably did because Scarf rotated as well. Yep, very nice gauntlet by Darklon, but they were able to turn the fight around slightly, I think. This was when Darklon just look at Darklon. He's just like, I'm the carry now. Look, he's still punching. He's like, I'm not backing at all. Very nice look at the water wall. Last minute save there. Creation was late for the fight. I thought they could have won this fight easily.
Yeah,
He missed his ult. Yeah, all those low health people. They got a turret because of this though, so it was kind of worth it, I guess. No, they didn't get a turret. They got Ghost Swing if I'm right. Oh, this play was sick as well. So basically what happened was they ran down Clash's vision towards the bottom side, and because Clash still wanted to force something or wanted to stop the Ghost Swing take, so they came down to check. And when they checked, they're like, where are they? They're all hiding here. And they just like, sadness, man. That was a good call though. A beautiful call. This is the difference. Like, East don't always do objectives before the fight because they need to see who's up what are the potential threats and what can they actually do. What's their limits? They know all this really well at the back of their head, at the back of their head. So that's why you're such a good team in 5v5. Auto attacks, man. Coming up from the store their macro decision making their Crucible 3 Crucible comes off a hook. That's honestly just, I don't think like 3 Crucibles matter a lot, because honestly it's all dependent on who on the team is supposed to block the hook, because I'm pretty certain if all 3 of them like they know if all 3 of them know that all of them had to pop their Crucible during the hook, one of them would have blocked it. But I think the main problem was like when they probably communicated, because it's never smart to triple block a CC, so they probably task each person to a CC to block, and it's just that one person that misblocked it. That's why they lost to the force the court coming out from Fins. I really don't think it's because I don't really think it's relevant to say they have 3 Crucibles and they missed it. Would probably be more relevant to say like maybe their Crucible rates aren't that high in terms of like maybe their captain or something like Gabe. But it could all be a lot of external reasons as well. We see very nice. This was quite a beautiful play as well, coming out from Ace. Coming out from Ace, they basically juggled really well. Those who are low backed off from the fight. Those who are healthy went forward in the fight, and they ended up all surviving. Whereas they took down 2 from Clash.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful play. Awesome. And let's see what next. They actually took Ghost Swing here with 2. I think they turned on Techno here. I think they have to turn on. Oh yeah, this was the play where Darklaw MVP. He placed the thing about Ace game is that they typically have their vision game really strong. Like they have the vision at Black Claw at around 13 minutes or so, which is still here. So because of that, they were able to spot Black Claw while doing Ghost Swing. So their call was to finish Ghost Swing and rotate out to Black Claw, because Clash is trying to trick dragons. Of course, Clash doesn't have the DPS, and they really can't do anything at this point in time except drop the dragon. So they just lost the Ghost Swing for nothing. Yep. Yeah, sad. Bad decision making by the 3 supports. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a decision making thing. It's more of a mechanics thing by one of them who had the Crucible and was tasked to block the hook. It's not really a decision. Like, doesn't really matter if. And now Ace got dragon control, and I think Clash will force a fight here. Creation got rooted. This was pretty amazing to watch actually. Look at Creation. He's the only bot laner that has the knowledge as well as the what do you call it? The mechanics to do it. Look, he had a stick here. He just put a stick here, zoned Handor out, and he just goes in and zone them all out on his own. Bought time for his team, stun them against the wall, and they just want to fight from there. The play later was pretty sick as well. So after they got Black Claw, instead of giving a breather for Clash, what they did was even more amazing. You see, basically the stake here was to prevent Reza from going over the wall and stealing the Black Claw. What they did here was pretty awesome. I think it was this push right here. Yep, look at Sweetbox. Look at where he's going. He's heading straight towards the red jungle area, and he's going straight here. Look, he knocked Kinetic back, which was the main win condition, immediately killed him. Because of that, their bot laner is down. Vox has no dragon take potential because he doesn't have his very low single target damage, even especially after the current nerf. And all Ace had to do now is pull off their very signature engage after the turret down, and they probably win the game.
Wow.
Yep. So the turret went down, they engaged, and yep, it's GG from here.
Shanna. How is Shanna surviving?
Damn. Yep.
They were so ahead. Yeah.
They won the game from there.
GG's.
That was game 1. Game 2 we'll probably just skip all the way to the mid to late game period.
Yep.
Where we can talk a little. I remember this game was really back and forth until
I haven't seen Tony in years.
Yeah,
What
I mean,
the heck?
the thing was like, honestly, I think that what I knew I saw.
Oh, they went. Oh yeah, this is the one they backdoored.
Yeah, this is the one they backed up for the win, for the champion.
Look at that triple mage.
Triple mage and 1 silver nail.
Yeah.
And Lyra and silver nail are really good anti-divers, so they have basically anti-dive built into this composition with all of these carries except for Celeste and Scarf. And because of that, the only way for a Clash to win is really to move together as a unit, because they don't really have damage to deal to the backline, which is the issue here. Because if Tony and Finn just walks forward and Kinetic just goes with them, these squishies will die in half a second to Kinetic, man. And this was what happened actually. And at a certain point of the game where you see, I think it was, yep, they catch people really easily because they have a lot of CC. I mean, Sweetbox misplayed here. He could have, if he reflex blocked the third Tony punch here, if he reflex here, he wouldn't have died. He could have just ran, but he died because of that. He popped his reflex there and he had nothing else to run. So bye bye, he's dead. And wait, that's the back button, sorry. So they tried to turn it into a dragon. They did, I think. But the thing about Ace's comp is that they're really very nice hook block here by Tasa. And Ducklon tried to steal it. Signature steals by Lyra, but didn't work. This was really smart though. While all this was happening, Creation was sieging in the bot lane with Shanna. So they actually got a turret, managed to get a turret.
Wasn't a very good decision from Kilash though.
Yeah, Clash lost a lot from that. And the thing is, they shred dragons. They shred dragons as well. Like, look at the damage they had. The dragon barely took one turret, I think. He took this turret and just went down. Like, look at the strat. This back claw is not gonna stand for long, man. And it's gonna go down after the turret.
This is probably their pocket comp.
Yeah, this is probably a comp that Ace has been like saving up for the very end. This is definitely not a conventional draft on the side of Ace. They really just picked the comp because this is something they've practiced with probably probably like 5 to 10 times before, and they know that this comp works. They're gonna force. Was this a fight that
No, they won this fight.
Yeah.
The red team won. Ace won this.
Yeah, they had really nice. The silence look. Silence was very nice positioning. Like they're constantly getting silenced. Blue team won actually. I remember this fight.
Oh wait, this isn't the fight they won.
It was the next fight where yeah, if they go in as a team, as you can tell, they go in as a team. Ace lack damage because they have three frontliners that can just body block any sort of damage, and Samuel can just throw pokes and they cannot do anything about it. But later on in the game, we should see. Okay, this was advantageous by the side of Clash as well. They did some turret damage. They're gonna back off. They're gonna push out the lanes. Yep. Later there will be a few more team fights where another team fight won. This was another one team fight by the side of Clash, I think. Yep. They did basically no one can frontline on the side of Ace. So all Sam has to do is keep a distance and poke. And Tony came from here, and Finn just charged in with him. Two frontliners, they taunted someone, they CC'd. The three frontliners just tanked every single skill shot that was coming out. Kinetic just kept stacking and stacking and stacking, and they all just died. Or I should say, they lost the fight really badly. They gave another back claw, but then their composition, while this was happening, guess what was happening? Malene just casually running down mid lane, taking out the mid turret, which set them up for the ultimate play in the end. So Malene taking down the mid turret here basically sets for a TP. He actually put a scout camp after taking, he put a scout camp right there. The thing about Ace is that they put their scout camps really early. Instead of, like, they don't use scout camps only after armories are down. They use scout camps when turrets are down, which means that they always backdoor teams with only one turret down, and they just go for the backdoor with very good macro play and shot calling. So that's what they're really good at. Celeste actually went down to Samuel. This guy already took down the bot turret.
We're just buying time.
Yep, buying time. Tony backed. Shanna tried to take not Shanna. Sweetbox tried to take the armory there. No, I see Shanna.
I know.
So he tried to take the
dragon
there.
though. Wow.
And now they have the shadow for the dragon, because that doesn't like the game at all. So dragon's gonna get melted. I'm just gonna fast forward this slightly. As you can tell, macroly, even though they're losing fights, they're winning in macro because they're losing the fights, but they are making the right calls to actually take turrets on top of that. Every time Ace loses a member, the others will just go look for lanes to push, and that's how they will win like the game here. Lyra actually going a little too deep, I think. So he's just gonna back out, and no one's gonna die here. No one's gonna die here. I know Tony
That teleport
came
wasn't
in.
really needed though.
Yeah, it wasn't that needed because the
They're all
fight was
low.
already over. But in this kind of cases, all they can do is back off a ghost swing.
I bet this was a very frustrating game for Q-Lash.
The first one.
Frustrating. It's like
Yeah, it's,
they couldn't do anything.
Yeah, the disengage is seriously good.
They could do it, it would be ace. These
Skip to back there. I do feel bad for Max Green every match. That should have brought back into to allow the Tony skip and go swing pit. Now this was the throw right here. Look, Finn is fat and big, but you're not invulnerable, and it's showed here. Where Finn went in on 5, his team was nowhere near, and then they just look at the target focus. Look at how fast Finn died. And once Finn is out, no one is gonna block damage.
Invisible Scarfold though.
Yeah.
It is invisible.
Damn, yeah, it is invisible. To rub salt into the wound. But they basically won this fight here, and they had 4 versus 3 members. So you gotta go swing, and they just got another pick here. Did they? Yep, they got another pick here. Very nice portal by look. This Dark Galon, portal, and Bawok before the gauntlet. So his block was late. If not, he could have went out the Bawok as well. So we got another turret here. They put another scout camp down, took the armory, and backed off. So in this case, they were visioning around Black Claw Pit and making sure that Clash had to send at least 1 or 2 members to check. And if they send 1 or 2, they will just kill the 1 or 2. And if they don't send 1 or 2, they send a whole team there. They will just go for the back door. The best plan for Clash to do is really to clear out the vision in base before 5-man contesting Black Claw when it's safe. So the problem was that they didn't do that. So TP boosts were being bought here. Scarf, Silvernail, they started Black Claw because the Black Claw fire is very.
This is so funny.
And then the engage came in. They had the thing is they had Malene and Lyra, which is two of the most like, one can go invisible, one can just teleport away and come back in half a second. One can just go invulnerable and come back in half a second to stop the recalls. So there was no way for them to do anything here. So the game ended up being over. Ace were the world champions, and that's our analysis for how the VPL Worlds went down and how Team Ace actually won. Basically, they were the better team in terms of drafting. I think they were slightly weaker than Clash. They were above any other team, and in terms of macro play, they were just too good. Too good for the other teams to handle. Ace, very well deserving champions. Defending champions that they'll be defending their title in March against in the WESG International.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be it from us. So hope you guys enjoyed this stream. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, as well as if you want to see more, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more content like this. We're gonna be doing more content for Vainglory. We're gonna do for other games as well. So yep. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I've been Corvo, and this has been Spaghetti.
Yes.
So we're signing off. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye.